May 17th, 2022, New York pre-market analysis. So this week looks like we're having a pretty good pullback, a good push up from the previous downtrend that we have been in. So I'm going to zoom all the way out to the monthly time frame. Zooming out to the monthly time frame, we see that price is exhausting around at this area where it currently is, anywhere from 31,200 up to about 32,600. It's getting pushed all back in that area. On the monthly time frame, it's also touched or come close to touching this 30,900 level, and this area of contest here is right at the 32,826 weekly support level, where this looks like it's getting pushed all the way back to. So, is it still a bearish trend, bearish push downward? It looks like it is, but there is some indication here price might be reversing and pushing back up. So let's see. Let's take a look here. Today, got some significant news, sales data, and then Daddy J Powell is going to be speaking at 2 p.m. So those are all things to look out for. Tomorrow's pretty clear on the U.S. News schedule. Thursday is pretty clear as well, and Friday as well. So with that, this push up, on the monthly time frame, obviously we have half a month left, just about 14 days, a little less, but dropping down a little bit to the weekly, we see now that this weekly candle is starting to engulf, almost engulfing the previous weekly candle. Obviously, 3 days, 11 hours left in the week, so we'll see how that goes. As far as a push to the upside. As of right now, I don't really see any opportunities. Going to drop down now to the daily. I don't really see a lot of opportunities. I mean, when you look at everything, especially going down to lower time frames, I think you can still see that bearish momentum is still intact. However, obviously on the lower time frame, still on daily now, let's drop down to the M4, H4 rather. Sorry, the H4, we see that obviously price has broken above these previous levels of structure here, even these slightly higher levels here on the H4. Price is breaking above those. I have this fib laid out from that last downward push we did. It's obviously breaking through 38.2. The zone as well. It did hit this zone initially. It got exhausted, but then it kept pushing back through. Next up is going to be this level of the 32,890 to 32, call it 33,000 roughly. This zone here will be the next major test, in my opinion, as far as if it's going to push through or if it's going to get rejected and push down somewhat, whether push down, to retest these previous structure lows or perhaps retest all the way down here. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. So going down now onto the H1 is more of the same. At this current moment, I don't see any entry point, being that it has broken above these levels of structure. If I were to see price, maybe coming back down in here and bouncing off of this zone or forming some level of structure in here where it was resistance and now possibly could be turned into support, then maybe I would consider, a buy opportunity riding up to at least about this zone here, this level of structure previously. But if not, if price just continues to push up and up and up, then I'm going to see if, obviously it's already broken through these levels here, as I was saying, on the higher time frame. But if it continues to push up, the next major area is going to be testing is this here, testing this zone, this weekly support resistance level. This is also 61.8 fib level. I've marked out based on that lower, on that downtrend that occurred over the last week or so. So with that being said, I don't see any opportunities right now. I do have my eye on it, and we will see what comes up here in the next hours, in the next day or so, even. So keep an eye out. We might possibly have a reversal on our hands as far as even if it's a short-term bullish push back up. Again, zooming all the way out to the weekly time frame. Obviously, there's some days left to close. This could close bearish as well, or close, weak. But I do see that it is possible that perhaps, again, projecting a little bit, considering this is a weekly time frame, but perhaps price may push back up to retest these levels here, which is what we're talking about. This is actually that 61.8 level I'm talking about in the lower time frame. But push up to retest there, or maybe even some of these levels here. I mean, I think really I can get into a short-term buy opportunity depending on what forms now, and over this week. However, I think still really on the macro perspective, the larger perspective, I think that we are still overall bearish until we at the very least break above this level here on the weekly, about 34,800 roughly. Until we break above that, and then obviously the higher higher levels above that, you got 35.5, you got 36.3, 36.7. Obviously breaking above those levels even further, but at the very least, I think that we are still in a bearish market. Bears are still ultimately, I believe, in control until we, at the very least, start breaking, some of these levels here, a couple thousand points above where we are. So with that, I'm going to just keep an eye on everything today, and I will be back with you guys after New York session today. Happy trading.